Hey guys, it's Crystal. It is October 16th, 2025. We live in Connecticut and I got a new microphone for my camera. I'm so excited. I have a couple Canon cameras that I have used over the years, and my 6D Mark II is one of my favorites. I love the big lens on it. I'm able to just kind of set it up and forget it. But the sound quality when I'm outside isn't usually the best, and when it starts getting windy, all you hear is like that horrible thundering sound through the built-in microphone. It's windy right now, so we'll see how it sounds. Let me know what you think. And I thought about getting one of the lapel microphones that like clips on, but we are always doing something, and a lot of times I am running out here to just either harvest from the garden or do stuff with the chickens or the goats or playing with the kids outside doing crafts or whatever. I don't think to grab the microphone to put it on. So if I can just like grab my camera, it's much easier. I haven't been using this camera much outside. I've been using my phone outside because of the microphone situation. That, and I think one day I may have been out here and I feel like a little bit of rainwater got into it, and sometimes when I do the vertical view for the shorts videos, the sound quality isn't very good. I got one of those Rode microphones. It's the cheaper one. I'm hoping that it helps me out a little bit and makes the sound a little bit better. I also got a new tripod, but that is gonna stay in the kitchen, so I can just move the camera back and forth between the kitchen or inside and out here in the garden and with the chickens and things. This outdoor tripod can stay out here and I don't have to worry about wiping it down as much because it'll be my outdoor tripod. So I don't think you cared about any of that stuff. I'm just really excited about it. What am I doing today besides testing my microphone in the wind? I need to do a harvest from the garden because I see tomatoes falling off of the plants. It was pretty chilly this morning out here. It's gonna get down to 40 tonight, 39, and then it's gonna go back up to high 40s, low 50s. I'm just gonna start seeing it colder here. So we live in Connecticut, like I've mentioned a million times. But I think it's important to note because the weather here is kind of funny. It can be very, very cold and completely miserable, or it can be very, very hot, humid, and completely miserable. A lot of times I've noticed, especially in recent years, there's no middle. It just goes from one extreme to the other. And in the springtime this year that happened, and I feel like the garden maybe didn't grow as well overall. Like I have a whole bed of tomatoes that didn't grow great, and I think it's because I put them in a little bit too early this year. You know, I've been doing this for a little while now, and I usually can put them in the springtime and they'll grow and I'm able to get a tomato harvest of them. But the plants that I put in later in the year when the weather had kind of balanced out a little bit, those tomato plants thrived. They did very good. It was the ones that I put in at the end of spring, early summer that struggled. I would consider this garden a multi-seasonal garden. We got to kind of be prepared for anything. And so I start my garden in the springtime, growing different things, and then, you know, we stagger out the plantings of stuff, starting seeds throughout the year. And then we get to the point now where we could really start getting some hard frosts. I think the frost that my garden experienced so far, definitely one, maybe two, was just like a soft frost. They're all hanging in there so far. It's different. You know, there's a lot of channels out there that cover California and Florida and the southern states, and up here in New England and the tri-state area, it's just different. It is different to grow food. You gotta be able to adapt very quickly to whatever is coming. You have to be very aware of the weather. It's not really a plant it and forget it type situation. You've always got to be ready. And then the pests, you gotta be ready for all of it. I think we are a hardy bunch of growers here, but I love seeing how other people's gardens grow in the different parts of the country and around the world, because I think it's important to know those things. I'm just happy to talk today. Let's see what we can get here. Okay, these are the Amish paste tomatoes from High Mowing Organic Seeds, and a lot of them are starting to fall off. You harvest the ones that are blushing and leave the green ones on. Here we have brown sugar tomatoes from Baker Creek. These are Comstock sauce and sliced tomatoes from Baker Creek. This is a pineapple tomato. It's starting to ripen. Turn nice and yellow, and they have a little bit of pink in them. They're good slicing tomatoes, really good on sandwiches. I have this green globe artichoke. I have it in a fabric pot. I've grown these every year, but I can never get them to overwinter, and I never actually get an opportunity to get it to the blossom stage or harvest an artichoke from it. So if anybody on here is from the area and has grown artichoke and knows how to overwinter it or has any recommendations, I would really appreciate it. I was really hoping to have the greenhouse built at this point, and then I was gonna just like in the greenhouse to keep it warm, but I'm looking for some feedback here because the plant's doing very well. This is the Roma VF tomatoes from Dollar Tree. These are Martino's Roma from Baker Creek. Alright, I've got a whole pile of bush beans here. I'm going to look and see if there's any that I can harvest. I've got some plants in this garlic bed that I threw in, and then I've got some younger plants in this other garlic bed. These are the Royal Burgundy snap beans from Fruition seeds. Next to it, I've got the golden wax bush beans. I think these ones are from Page's Seeds. These are also the golden wax bush beans, but these ones came from Hudson Valley Seed Company. There's a couple. Over here, I'm going to grab these pimiento peppers. I'm growing two different varieties. I have the lipstick pimiento from Baker Creek. I really like that one. And I've also got the red ruffled pimiento. That one's from Hudson Valley Seed Company. I think I've got a couple Provider Bush snap beans. These are Mad Hatter peppers. They're spicy, and I got them from a local garden nursery. They're for sure spicy, but they're just fun and whimsical. Definitely different to see in the garden. And habanero pepper. The chickens got in the garden because I forgot to close it. Come on, you guys. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow, ow. No hen parties today. Just a party of one. Thank you. Thank you. Let's close the door. There's a lot of them. That could have been a disaster. Giant Marconi sweet pepper. I don't think it's going to produce any more for me this year, but I will for sure be growing these again. I really liked them. That is a California Wonder Bell pepper and a King of the North. And I think I'll grab that Emerald Giant too. The stem doesn't look very good on it. These are poblano peppers from Baker Creek. And there's Black Magic F1 jalapenos from Hudson Valley Seed Company. And pumpkin spice jalapenos from Baker Creek. Craig's Grande jalapenos, also from Baker Creek. And I think there's early jalapenos too from my gardener. I've got a ton of pole beans on our bean trellis here, but they've all gone a little bit too far for eating. I did harvest this one here, but I'm gonna see if hopefully maybe I can save some of these for seed to grow next year. Even more beans would be great. I got two. Next I'm gonna go around and harvest our cherry tomatoes. There's really not many. A lot of them are kind of yucky at this point, so I'm just gonna kind of pick through and find out which ones I like. But I've got the Volunteer cherry tomatoes in here, and these ones are mostly large red cherry tomatoes that originally came from Dollar Tree. I've also got carrots growing in here. Rosella cherry tomatoes. These ones are a little on the small side, but still edible. And this is a mixture of moonbeam grape, Rosella, chocolate cherry, honey drop, sunrise bumblebee, and pink bumblebee cherry tomatoes. I'll have all the seed varieties and where I got them listed in the description or in the comment section. So here I've got cucamelons. They're Mexican sour gherkins. I originally got the seeds from Fruition seeds, and I just love growing them. They look like little tiny watermelons, and they're crunchy and delicious. They are like a cucumber, kind of. I don't know. They're just like their own little thing. They're a great snack. Good in salads. I really like growing them, and it's fun to say cucamelons. Alright, next I'm going to harvest some carrots. I don't grow them as well as my kids do. These are the tender sweet carrots from my gardener. I really like these ones. These might be, along with the red quartz chantenay, these might be my favorite ones to grow. I'm going to leave the other ones in there for now. What are these? Carrots over here. Do I even have any labels? I don't know what these ones are. Oh, that's interesting looking. Oh, wow. I have no idea what variety this is. I know these ones over here are the red cord Chantenay carrots from Dollar Tree. And lastly, I have a couple early prolific straight neck squash. These are from Baker Creek. This one doesn't look very good. I'm gonna give that one to the chickens. Yeah, that one's kind of yucky. Okie dokie, we got tomatoes and peppers. I'm thinking it's the last harvest of peppers until I take all the plants out, because all the ones that are on there are like either really small or they've got a lot of stretch marks or they just look weird. So I'm probably just gonna leave everything on there unless the poblanos continue to grow and I'm able to get a harvest from them if it just like warms up or something like that, but I doubt it. That's probably gonna be the last like normal harvest of peppers until I take all the plants out. We also got a little bit of cherry tomatoes, not as many as before. There are tons of them on the ground and stuff, but they're all like icky and mushy. So I'm gonna have to rake those up at some point. Like a handful of cucamelons, a summer squash, and some carrots. So that is exciting. I did give the carrot tops to the chickens. They like them. And I also gave them that other yucky squash. But I think that is going to do it for me out in the garden today. I've got to go inside. I am currently working on completely redoing our tiny little pantry. Thank you very much for joining me in the garden today, and I will see you next time. Bye.